Welcome once again to my engineering physics channel. I am Sanjeev Badhe from KJ Somaya Institute of Engineering and Information Technology. This is our session 2 on quantum physics, and in this session we are going to discuss solution to some of the problems based on de Broglie hypothesis. In the first session we have discussed this de Broglie hypothesis. It states that with every moving particle moving with velocity v, there is a wave associated, and wavelength of that wave is given by lambda equal to h upon p. H is Planck's constant 6.626 into 10 raised to minus 34 joule second, and p is momentum of the particle, which is product of mass and velocity. So p is equal to mv. We have seen the experimental verification of this de Broglie hypothesis, which was given by Davison and Germer. So we will be solving some of the problems based on this de Broglie relation in this particular session. This de Broglie relation can be written in terms of energy also. We know lambda equal to h upon p, that is equal to h upon mv. Kinetic energy of the particle can be written as 1 by 2 mv square. So just multiply and divide by m, we will get 1 by 2 m square v square, and m square v square is nothing but p square, momentum square. So p square can be written as 2me. So this 2m taken on the other side. So square of the momentum is equal to 2me, and therefore the momentum can be written as square root of 2me. So if you substitute this value for momentum in the de Broglie relation, lambda can be written as h upon square root of 2me, where E is kinetic energy of the particle. Now if a particle is a charged particle and if it is accelerated by using the potential difference of v volts, then this kinetic energy is equal to ev, and therefore lambda can be written as h upon square root of 2mev. Square root of 2mev. Lambda is equal to h upon square root of 2mev. If the energy of the particle is thermal energy, then it will be equal to kT, and therefore lambda can be written as h upon square root of 2mkt. So we can use any of these relations to solve the problems based on de Broglie hypothesis. Okay, this is the first one. A bullet of mass 40 gram and an electron both travel with the velocity of 1100 meter per second. What wavelengths can be associated with them? Why the wave nature of bullet cannot be revealed using diffraction effect? So first let us calculate the wavelength of the wave associated with the electron. We know for electron, mass of the electron is 9.1 into 10 raised to minus 31 kg. Planck's constant value we know 6.63 into 10 raised to minus 34 joule second. Charge on the electron is 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb, and the velocity of the electron is given as 1100 meter per second. Now we want to calculate wavelength of the wave associated with the electron. So using de Broglie relation, we can write lambda equal to h upon mv. So h is 6.63 into 10 raised to minus 34 joule second, m is 9.1 into 10 raised to minus 31 kg, and v is 1100 meter per second. So if you substitute these values here, we can calculate the value of lambda as 6.623 into 10 raised to minus 7 meters, which is around 6623 angstroms. Now for bullet, mass of the bullet is given as 40 gram, that is equal to 40 into 10 raised to minus 3 kg, and velocity is 1100 meter per second. So if you put these values, you can calculate the wavelength of the wave associated with the bullet, and by substituting this mass and velocity, we get the wavelength of the wave associated with bullet as 1.507 into 10 raised to minus 35 meters. So from these two wavelengths that we have calculated, we can note that the wavelength of the wave associated with bullet is very small as compared to the wavelength of the wave associated with an electron. So this is 10 raised to minus 35 meters. Now let us come to the next part of the question. Why the wave nature of bullet cannot be revealed using diffraction effect? Because to perform the diffraction experiment with a given wave, we need a diffraction grating in which width of the slit is comparable to the wavelength of the wave. Now for electron 6623 angstroms, the diffraction grating of this width can be easily found. Even if it is 1 angstroms, then also a crystal can be utilized as a diffraction grating. But for a bullet, the wavelength of the wave is 10 raised to minus 35 meters. So we need, in order to verify the wave nature of the wave associated with bullet, we need a diffraction grating in which width of the slit is of the order of 10 raised to minus 35 meter. So such diffraction grating is not available, and therefore the wave nature of the bullet cannot be revealed. If we get a diffraction grating in which width of the slit is 10 raised to minus 35 meters, then only it could be possible to verify the wave nature of the wave associated with the bullet. This one is a simple problem. Calculate the de Broglie wavelength of the proton moving with a velocity equal to 1/20th of the velocity of light. Mass of the proton is given as 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 27 kg. So Planck's constant we already know, 6.63 into 10 raised to minus 34 joule second. Mass of the proton is given to us, and velocity with which the proton is moving is 1/20th of the velocity of light. Velocity of light is 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. So multiplied by 1 by 20 and we will get the velocity of the proton. What is asked is wavelength of the wave associated with proton. So we know from de Broglie relation lambda is equal to h upon p, that is equal to h upon mv. So all the values are known, h is known, m is known, v is given to us. So we can calculate the value of lambda as 2.763 into 10 raised to minus 14 meters. So in this case the wavelength of the wave associated with proton is calculated as 2.763 into 10 raised to minus 14 meters. So here one more simple problem. Calculate the wavelength of the wave associated with a neutron moving with energy 0.025 electron volts. Mass of neutron is 1.676 into 10 raised to minus 27 kg. So here energy of the neutron is given, but it is given in electron volts. So we need to convert it in joules. So energy of the neutron in joules can be obtained by simply multiplying this 0.025 by 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19. So energy of the neutron is 0.025 into 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 joules. Planck's constant we already know, 6.63 into 10 raised to minus 34 joule second. Mass of the neutron is given here as 1.676 into 10 raised to minus 27 kg, and we are asked to find out wavelength of the wave associated with neutron. So using de Broglie relation we can write wavelength of the wave is equal to h upon p, and p is equal to square root of 2me, where e is energy of the moving neutron. So we can substitute all the values, and the wavelength of the wave associated with neutron can be calculated as 1.811 into 10 raised to minus 10 meters, or it can be written as 1.811 angstroms. This is a problem based on alpha particle which is accelerated by a potential difference of 100 kilovolts. So we are asked to find the de Broglie wavelength associated with an alpha particle accelerated by a potential difference of 100 kilovolts. Mass of the alpha particle is given as 6.68 into 10 raised to minus 27 kg. Now for alpha particle we know the charge on the alpha particle is equal to 2 times charge on the electron. So when we find out energy of the alpha particle which is accelerated by the potential difference, this energy is equal to qv, and this q we will substitute as 2 into E, that is 2 into 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. V is given as 100 into 10 raised to 3 volts, 100 kilovolts means 100 into 10 raised to 3 volts. So by substituting all these values given, we can calculate lambda with de Broglie relation h upon p, that is equal to h upon square root of 2me, and this E is written as q into V, where q is equal to 2 into E. So just put the values, and wavelength can be calculated as 3.206 into 10 raised to minus 14 meters. So in this problem, the wavelength of de Broglie wave associated with alpha particle is 3.206 into 10 raised to minus 14 meters. So this is one more problem based on alpha particle, but this time the energy of the alpha particle is given directly. We are asked to calculate velocity and de Broglie wavelength of an alpha particle of energy 1 kilo electron volt. Mass of the alpha particle is again given as 6.68 into 10 raised to minus 27 kg. So energy of the alpha particle we can calculate by just multiplying the energy in electron volts by 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19. So we will get the energy of alpha particle in joules. Because Planck's constant is having the unit joule second, we need to convert this energy in joules. So energy of alpha particle in joules will become 1000 kilo electron volts. So 1 kilo electron volt, so 1000 into 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 joules. We are asked to find out velocity and wavelength. So let us first calculate the velocity of the alpha particle. That can be calculated by using this simple relation 1 by 2 mv square is equal to energy. So using this we can write v to be equal to square root of 2 e upon m. E is 1000 into 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 and m is 6.68 into 10 raised to minus 27 kg. So by substituting these values here, we can calculate the velocity of alpha particle as 2.188 into 10 raised to 5 meter per second. So this is the value of velocity. And for calculating the wavelength, we will use de Broglie relation. Lambda is equal to h upon p, that is equal to h upon square root of 2 me square root of 2 me. So energy is given 1000 into 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19. Mass is given, Planck's constant we know, so we can calculate the wavelength of the wave associated with alpha particle, and the value obtained here is 4.535 into 10 raised to minus 13 meters. Okay, in this problem, an electron beam is accelerated from rest through a potential difference of 200 volts, and we are asked to calculate the associated wavelength. And also, if this beam is passed through a diffraction grating of spacing 3 angstroms, then at what angle deviating from the incident direction will be the first maximum observed. So wavelength can be easily calculated by using de Broglie relation, which is given as lambda is equal to h upon p, that is h upon square root of 2 mev. So here v is given as 200 volts, E is a charge on the electron, that is 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19, m is mass of the electron, that is 9.1 into 10 raised to minus 31 kg, h is Planck's constant 6.63 into 10 raised to minus 34 joule second. So with these values we can calculate the wavelength of the wave associated with electron as 8.688 into 10 raised to minus 11 meter, which can be written as 0.8688 angstroms. So this is the wavelength of the wave associated with electron in the problem. Now the second part says the beam is passed through a diffraction grating of spacing 3 angstroms. So width of the slit in the diffraction grating is 3 angstroms, that is 3 into 10 raised to minus 10 meters. At what angle deviating from the incident beam first order maximum is observed? So we will write the condition for maximum in case of diffraction. So condition for maximum says 2d sin theta equal to n lambda. Here the order of maximum is 1, first order maximum. So we will substitute this n equal to 1 here, and we are asked to find out the angle at which the maximum is obtained. So theta we want to find out. So we can write the relation for theta as sin inverse of n lambda upon 2d, n is equal to 1, so it will become sin inverse of lambda upon 2d. Lambda we have just now calculated 8.688 into 10 raised to minus 11, and d is given to us 3 into 10 raised to minus 10. So with this we can calculate the value of theta, that is the angle deviating from the incident direction at which first maximum is observed, and that theta is calculated here as 8.32 degrees. This is a simple problem again, in which energy of neutron we are supposed to calculate in the units of electron volt. So the problem says find the energy of neutron in units of electron volt whose de Broglie wavelength is 1 angstroms. So wavelength of the wave associated with neutron is given as 1 angstrom, that is 10 raised to minus 10 meters. Mass of the neutron is provided 1.674 into 10 raised to minus 27 kilogram. Planck's constant we know 6.63 into 10 raised to minus 34 joule second. So in this problem wavelength is given according to de Broglie relation, lambda is equal to h upon p, that is h upon square root of 2 me. So energy we are asked to calculate. Energy can be written as h square upon 2m lambda square. Using this relation we can write E to be equal to h square upon 2m lambda square. By substituting the values of h, m and lambda, we can calculate the energy. So the energy is calculated as 1.313 into 10 raised to minus 20 joules. So this is the energy in joules, because Planck's constant we are writing in joules per joule second, and therefore the energy calculated is in joules. But what is asked is find the energy of neutrons in units of electron volt. So to convert this energy in electron volt, just divide it by 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19, and the energy of neutrons in electron volts is obtained as 0.082 electron volts. An electron accelerated through 1000 volts and is reflected from a crystal. The first order reflection occurs when glancing angle is 70 degrees. Calculate the interplanar spacing of the crystal. So this is a problem based on that Davison-Germer experiment. Here Planck's constant we know 6.63 into 10 raised to minus 34 joule second. Mass of the electron we know 9.1 into 10 raised to minus 31 kg. Charge on the electron 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. The potential difference used to accelerate the electron is given 1000 volts. For first order reflection n is equal to 1, we are asked to find out wavelength and the interplanar spacing of the crystal. Wavelength is not asked actually, but we will need that wavelength for calculating the interplanar spacing. So first let us calculate this wavelength of the wave associated with the electron. Using de Broglie relation we can write lambda is equal to h upon p, that is equal to h upon square root of 2 mev. By substituting all these values we can calculate lambda as 3.885 into 10 raised to minus 11 meters. So once we get this wavelength of the wave associated with electron, we can put this wavelength in Bragg's law, Bragg's relation. So Bragg's law of diffraction says 2d sin theta equal to n lambda, where n is order of the maximum, lambda is wavelength of the wave, d is the width of the slit. In this case it will be interplanar spacing. Theta is the glancing angle, which is given to us as 70 degrees. So d can be written as n lambda upon 2 sin theta. All the values are known. We can calculate the value of d as 2.067 into 10 raised to minus 11 meter, which is equal to 0.2067 angstroms. So the interplanar spacing in this problem is 0.2067 angstroms. This is similar to the earlier problem, but in this problem interplanar spacing is given, the lattice spacing is given as 2.15 angstroms, and we are asked to calculate glancing angle theta. So other data given is an electrons accelerated through 100 volts. So potential difference used to accelerate the electrons is 100 volts, are reflected from a crystal. Calculate the glancing angle at which the first order reflection occurs. So for first order n will be equal to 1, V is equal to 100 volts. All the other constants we know. Planck's constant is 6.63 into 10 raised to minus 34 joule second. Mass of the electron 9.1 into 10 raised to minus 31 kg. Lattice spacing is given, that is D equal to 2.15 into 10 raised to minus 10 meters. Charge on electron we know it is 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. So first let us calculate wavelength of the wave associated with the electron by using de Broglie relation. Lambda is equal to h upon p, that is h upon square root of 2 MeV. All the values are known. H is 6.63 into 10 raised to minus 34, M is 9.1 into 10 raised to minus 31, E is 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 and V is 100. So value of wavelength can be calculated, and when we do the calculation it will be 1.229 into 10 raised to minus 10 meters. So this wavelength we can substitute in Bragg's law of diffraction and we can calculate the value of theta. We can write the relation for theta from this as theta equal to sine inverse of n lambda upon 2d. N is equal to 1 for first order. So lambda is we just now calculated. D is given to us 2.15 angstroms, that is 2.15 into 10 raised to minus 10 meters. And theta can be calculated now, and when we calculate theta it is found to be 16.61 degrees. An electron and photon each have a wavelength of 2 angstroms. What are their momentum and energy? Mass of electron is given as 9.1 into 10 raised to minus 31 kg, and Planck's constant we know it is 6.63 into 10 raised to minus 34 joules. So here we are asked to find out momentum of electron and energy of electron, and then momentum of photon and energy of photon. So let us first do the calculation for electron. So for electron the momentum is given by de Broglie relation. Lambda is equal to h upon p, therefore p is equal to h upon lambda. H we know, lambda is given to us 2 angstroms, so that is 2 into 10 raised to minus 10 meters, and momentum of electron can be calculated. When calculation is done it is found to be 3.315 into 10 raised to minus 24 kg meter per second. Energy of an electron is equal to p square by 2m. P we have just now calculated, m we know, so energy is calculated as 6.038 into 10 raised to minus 18 joules. If we want to convert this in electron volts, just divide it by 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19. For a photon, momentum can be calculated by using de Broglie relation. P is equal to h by lambda, and it will be same as the momentum of an electron, 3.315 into 10 raised to minus 24 kg meter per second. For energy we can use the relation E is equal to h nu, which is equal to hc by lambda. So nu is the frequency of wave associated with the photon. So nu is equal to c by lambda because photon velocity will be equal to c. So by putting the value of c to be equal to 3 into 10 raised to 8, we can calculate the energy of the photon, and when the calculation is done, energy of photon is found to be 9.945 into 10 raised to minus 16 joules. So we are at the end of session number 2 on quantum physics. In this session we discussed different type of problems based on de Broglie hypothesis. In the coming session we will be discussing Heisenberg uncertainty principle, and in further sessions we will be discussing Schrodinger equations. I hope you must have enjoyed this video, and if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel so that you will be getting timely intimation of the new videos that I will be uploading to this channel. If you have any doubts, if you have any queries, you can contact me on my WhatsApp number, or you can communicate with me through Google Classroom. So thank you once again for watching.